Looking at deaths in daycare, one of the first visually striking aspects of this article is the alignment of the images or illustrations. This infographic uses illustrations of children's clothing to represent deaths of children in the childcare system. While the illustrations are emotionally upsetting given the context, this emotional disturbance only points to their impact. Visually, one of the first things a reader will notice when looking at this article is the aesthetically pleasing alignment of the first photos or illustrations shown. These illustrations are separated through the use of color, which falls under both contrast and hierarchy in design. The colors of each of the illustrated outfits represent the circumstances of deaths for these children. This color scheme would be more effective, however, if the color chart were represented on the first page of the article, letting the reader know immediately what each color means. I personally thought the colors were arbitrary until I scrolled to the second page of the infographic, which leads me to believe they would be better suited on the first page. Contrast is also represented on the second chart of the infographic through the detailed information of the ages of children who died. A series of squares rest beside one another, with the darker squares representing children younger than 1 year old, while the lighter squares represent children over the age of 1. Hierarchy is given to the yellow outfits, which represent children who died from abuse, or at least it seems so to the reader. Overall, this infographic utilizes many of the concepts proposed by Gareth David, but they could have been presented in an order that made more sense of the information given. Our readings suggest presenting the most important textual information first is necessary so that the reader knows what to expect from the infographic. While this article uses illustration to create impact, as well as other facets of design, it could have been presented in a more reader-friendly manner. In other words, there are ways that this information could have been presented that the reader might have understood what the infographic was trying to explain before having to look for the keys and the maps. I think that the information should have been given beforehand and that it would have made the infographic more effective.